Allowance? We've never received anything like that.
Huh? One day, I discovered a shocking fact during a conversation with my father-in-law, Jason. I couldn't believe that behind my back, such a thing was happening. My name is Lila, 29 years old. I live with my husband, Andrew, whom I married 4 years ago. So one day, when I got home from work, I found Andrew, who usually comes home late, already there. I immediately sensed something was off. He had lined up bottles of beer and whiskey all over the floor, and his face was bright red. Andrew, what's going on? I rushed over to him in a panic.
Leave me alone. I can't take this anymore.
He raised his voice. What do you mean you can't take it? What happened? And since when do you drink so much?
It's none of your business. Damn it. That crappy boss of mine.
Crappy boss? My husband always had endless complaints about his job, constantly bad-mouthing his boss and the company. Probably something unpleasant happened at work today. I decided to try and calm him down. You had a tough day, huh? Tonight, I'll make your favorite stew. I'll make it quickly. Let's eat together. I tried to cheer him up with a cheerful attitude, but his expression didn't change. In fact, he seemed more irritated. All the while, he kept downing drinks, so I spoke to him. Hey, are you okay? You have work tomorrow. Maybe you should go to bed soon. He then let out a big sigh.
Just leave me alone. Not going to work tomorrow.
What? Not going to work? What does he mean? Did he get into a fight with his boss? I decided to ask him about it. Why aren't you going tomorrow? Did something happen at work?
No. I just got fired. That's all.
You got fired? I was shocked. I never imagined he would say that. Oh, wait, just wait. Fired? Where did that come from?
Don't blame me. They just told me out of the blue. I don't know if it's due to financial issues or staff cuts, but I'm glad to be done with that company.
Glad to be done? Honestly, I was nothing but anxious. We could live in our current house only because we both had incomes. Our expenses, including food and living costs, and the allowance we give to my in-laws.
Anyway, I got fired, so let me do what I want today.
He was slurring his words from drinking too much, and I couldn't do anything about it. I realized we wouldn't be able to continue sending money to my in-laws unless he found a new job. So, I decided to contact my father-in-law when the time was right. The next morning, as expected, Andrew had fallen asleep on the sofa. Empty cans and bottles were scattered everywhere, showing he had been drinking late. After cleaning up, I called my father-in-law. Hello, Jason. I'm sorry for calling so early in the morning.
Oh, Lila. How are you doing, my dear?
It's hard to say, but it seems Andrew suddenly got fired from his job.
What? Andrew got fired? Is that true?
Yes. He mentioned something about financial difficulties and cost cutting.
That's sudden. To get fired just like that.
I felt terribly sorry as I explained to him. After all, it was thanks to my in-laws that Andrew got his job. Since the beginning of our marriage, my husband had been addicted to gambling. In the early days, I was unaware of his gambling addiction, happily seeing him off to work every morning. Have a good day, honey.
Thanks. You too. I might be late today because of overtime.
Oh? Don't work too hard. I always thought he was working hard. But when I smelled cigarette smoke on him, a non-smoker, I instantly knew something was wrong. I confronted him right away.
I just started smoking because of stress.
That's what he said. Really? He hated smoking so much. Day by day, his behavior became more peculiar. The kind, gentle man I knew was gone, replaced by someone increasingly irritable. One day, he stopped hiding his visits to the casino. He even started pouring his salary and savings into gambling, not caring about being absent from work, only interested in the day's wins and losses. Are you really not going to work anymore?
Shut up. It's none of your business. I'm using my own money, so don't get in my way.
Saying that, he rudely left the house and always came back empty-handed. When our savings ran out, he turned to me for money.
Lend me $200. I'll double it and give it back. I'm sure to win tomorrow. Trust me on this. Can't you even lend a few $100s when your husband is in trouble?
Gambling changed his personality completely. The kind husband I once knew was gone. Eventually, he started gambling with borrowed money. I was furious. What do you think you're doing? Gambling with borrowed money? That's insane. This is totally unacceptable. No matter how strongly I confronted him, he showed no remorse. Instead, he blamed me for his debts.
What? You didn't lend me the money, so I had to borrow.
He's completely addicted to gambling. If I don't put a stop to this now, our life will fall apart. Don't be ridiculous. I didn't lend you money because I want you to quit gambling. I'm covering all our living expenses since we're out of savings. And you have the nerve to blame me?
Just lend me the money. I'll win at the casino and prove it to you. Just to listen to your husband for once.
Have you ever won big? I don't think so. Stop chasing these ridiculous dreams and face reality.
Shut up. Don't interfere with a man's entertainment.
If only he would gamble within reason. But he's completely addicted. His unreasonable behavior is destroying our marriage. No matter how much I try to convince him, he won't listen. I might be at my wit's end. During these tough times, it was my in-laws who scolded my husband.
Do you even realize you have a family? Getting into debt over gambling. Apologize to Lila.
He's right. You got such a wonderful wife, and this is what you do? What are you thinking? You're going to end up divorced at this rate. They lectured him repeatedly about the importance of marriage and family. Then, Andrew finally broke down and apologized.
Lila, I'm really sorry. I swear, I'll never gamble again. Please, forgive me.
Then my father-in-law said to me,
Lila, what my son did is unforgivable. We've really troubled you. If it's okay with you, please, forgive him just this once.
Seeing how earnestly my in-laws apologized, I decided to give Andrew another chance. It was also my in-laws who took on the burden of his debts and arranged a new job for him. Until his salary stabilized, they even transferred living expenses to us. We could continue our life as before thanks to my in-laws. I was deeply grateful and started sending them $350 every month to repay their kindness. But with Andrew losing his job, we couldn't afford to send money anymore. I apologized to my father-in-law over the phone. Jason, I'm really sorry. Despite my being here, things turned out this way.
No. It's the company's circumstances, right? Lila, you're not at fault. Don't worry about it.
His kind words touched my heart. But I have something more important to convey. I really hate to tell you this, but I don't think we'll be able to send you money anymore. You know, the monthly allowance. Then, in a surprised tone, he said,
Allowance? We've never received anything like that.
His response left me speechless. No, Jason, I mean the money we were sending you every month. $350 every month. Remember?
What are you talking about? I just asked my wife, and she doesn't know anything either.
What? That can't be. I have been scrapping together the living expenses, putting $350 in an envelope, and giving it to Andrew every month. If it wasn't reaching my in-laws, then...
Lila, what exactly is going on?
I don't understand either. But it's true. I've been giving Andrew the money every month to give to you guys. He spoke again, hearing my desperate plea.
Lila, can we come over tonight to discuss this? Oh, and keep this between us for now. Don't tell Andrew.
All right, I won't tell him. I was sure I had given Andrew $350 each month. If it wasn't reaching my in-laws, the only explanation was Andrew himself. Unbelievable. He must have been secretly using it. I can't forgive this. I'll make him confess everything, and he will pay for this. An hour later, my in-laws arrived at our house. Andrew's eyes widened in surprise when he saw them enter the living room.
Mom? Dad? What are you doing here?
He was clearly flustered, obviously hiding something.
Andrew? Is there anything you need to tell us?
Though my father-in-law indirectly questioned him, Andrew pretended to be ignorant.
Huh? What are you talking about? You can't just show up like this. Lila must be trouble too. You should leave for today.
I couldn't hold back anymore and yelled at my husband. Don't use me as an excuse. Just tell the truth already. He looked shocked as he turned to me.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. I'm talking about the money I asked you to give to your parents. What happened to it? His eyes were clearly evasive as I pressured him.
That? Well...
Your parents said they never received it once. But I definitely gave it to you every month. Where did all that money go these past 2 years?
It's not like that, Lila. Calm down. There's a reason for this.
A reason? Well, let's hear it. Where did the money for your parents go? Explain it, so we can understand. Come on. His face turned pale, his earlier bravado gone. What? Can't say it? I hope you're not going to tell me you used it yourself. My in-laws and I glared at Andrew. Realizing he couldn't escape, he finally spoke quietly.
Sorry, I actually used it a bit for gambling.
What? Gambling? You're joking, right? It was the last thing I wanted to hear. After everything that had happened, he was gambling again. I can't believe this. You promised never to gamble again, didn't you? After all the trouble you caused your parents, we agreed to send them money as a way to repay them. What were you thinking? As I yelled at my husband, tears of frustration spilled over. I thought we were finally able to repay my in-laws' kindness. Was I the only one who thought we needed to support them now? Tears blurred my vision as my mother-in-law patted my back.
Just to be clear, you were fired due to company reasons, right?
His question made Andrew flinch.
Oh, yes, that's true. Andrew, if you need to correct anything, now's the time. If it turns out you've lied...
Before he could finish, Andrew suddenly drooped his head and said,
I'm sorry. The truth is, I got fired because of my poor work attitude. It wasn't due to financial issues or staff cuts.
I was speechless at his words, too appalled to respond. His father didn't wait to ask his son.
What do you mean? What did you do regarding your work attitude? Actually, I got caught skipping work to gamble.
Oh gosh, this is just too much. Hearing this, I felt everything was absurd. I have forgiven his past and resolved to support him from scratch. What was all my effort for?
You've got to be kidding me.
Jason started yelling.
I told you so many times to understand what it means to be a person with a family, and yet you pull this ridiculous stunt again.
As my mother-in-law quietly wept, I was too numb to cry, just looking down at my husband who kept his head bowed in shame. While my father-in-law was furious, Andrew kept making excuses.
But I'll do better at my next job, okay? It was just bad luck this time.
I can't do this anymore. Let's get a divorce. The words slipped out without me even realizing.
What? Divorce? You're joking, right?
I unleashed my anger on my bewildered husband. Joking? You think I'm joking in this situation?
But a divorce over this is a bit extreme, isn't it?
Extreme? Are you kidding me? Do you even realize what you've done? What you did is the same as embezzlement. My voice trembled with rage.
Lila, calm down. I won't do it again. I promise, this time for sure, please.
It's too late.
Oh.
You've betrayed us twice. I can't continue living with someone like that. We're getting a divorce.
No way.
Watching this, my father-in-law nodded in agreement.
We too no longer consider someone like you as our son. From now on, we're cutting ties with you. Whoa, wait. Lila, Mom, Dad, you're joking, right? Please, forgive me.
He was crying and pleading, but our minds were made up. I fetched the divorce papers and made him sign them in front of my in-laws. Thank you for everything. Goodbye. I left the apartment with my packed belongings.
Lila, wait. Let's talk this over one more time. I won't do it again. I promise. Wait, Lila.
Andrew kept shouting after me, but I never looked back. My in-laws must have made the same resolution. Soon after this incident, they moved far away to ensure he wouldn't come to them for help. I have no idea what happened to him since then. Rumor has it that his gambling debts have spiraled out of control and now he's leading a desperate hand-to-mouth existence, running from creditors. He brought it all upon himself. As for me, I'm living fairly fulfilling days. I still have a good relationship with my ex-in-laws. We go out to eat together, matching our schedules. My marriage to Andrew was a failure, but meeting such wonderful in-laws is a treasure I'll cherish for life. From now on, I want to repay them as much as I can for all they've done.